Hi everyone, so today we are looking at the grade 3 mathematics lesson plan for assignment 3 of social media and personalized learning. This will be looking at a multiplication and division review of in mathematics 3. So in this lesson plan they're looking at the core competencies of critical thinking and looking at develop and design with 3 I statements involved, as you can see here. The big idea is looking at multiplication and division skills and making sure that kids are fluent in composing equations and solving them. For the content, we have multiplication and division concepts and curricular competencies of developing their math strategies and demonstrating and applying mathematical understanding through play and problem solving and explaining and justifying mathematical ideas and decisions. So this is activity again. And in this learning context, we're assuming that they've already covered multiplication and division throughout the year, or earlier in the year, and so this unit is just a review. So this is more of a fun way to help them practice reviewing multiplication and division techniques. Students already know how to use the computer. They will be looking at Google, and they will be using Google Classrooms. They are able to access this because they have a parent-approved Gmail account, and with parent-approved Gmail accounts, parents can see what their kids are doing. This has to happen because since they're under 13 and they're in grade 3, they are not allowed to have their own Gmail account yet, so it has to be parent-approved. So Google Classroom is the social media platform we're using for this assignment in our lesson. The outline, as you can see here, is we're going to start the students off with just a small review in class with a 1-minute math drill, so I think everyone probably remembers those. We'll give them enough time to complete them and get them settled, and then we mark them as a class. And in this case, we'd want to ask the students to mark ones that were tricky for them. Let them have choices and feel out how they were stuck on some questions and others were easy. Then we'll give them time to solve the questions, and then we will give them an activity of completing a math puzzle in class. So the math puzzle in class will look something like this. So it'll look like this. I got this off tlsbooks.com, but they'll have multiplication equations and they'll have to solve the answers. The answers will go in the box, and then later on they'll cut out the pictures and solve the picture. So this is just an example of one of them. And for students that are faster, we'd have another one here. This is for students that maybe want a challenge with 3-digit numbers. It's about the same as the other one. And in theory, if I were to actually print this out and hand it to a class, I would also find division ones too, just to help reinforce the reviewing process of multiplication and division. So after the completing of the activity of the worksheet in class, I would assign them homework to do of making their own math puzzle. This is where our digital literacy and personalization and social media come in. They will be using Google Classrooms, as I said before, and they will have to find an image that they like, and they will choose from the questions that they got stuck on from the 1-minute drills. And we're going to integrate that into one big assignment here, and they get to be creative and create their own math puzzle. So on Google Classrooms, I'll show you in a second, but they will have links to help them of image splitting, and in case they get stuck on how to possibly create a template and how to create their own puzzles. So here is Google Classrooms. As you can see, there's many links that I've posted, some for reviewing, multiplication and division, and as you can see there's class comments, and there's material on how to create your own math puzzle. I have a movie posted there. Here's a small snippet of it, and here's a tutorial that would help the students work, etc. There's also links for math games on Math Playground. As you can see here, it's a good and safe website to check out for them. And here, as a teacher, you can create an assignment and see when it's due and how many people have turned it in. And you can create the criteria for it, know how much it's worth. And as you can see typing, you can ask questions. Since it's just me, I answered my own question. And I just want to show you how feedback works in Google Classroom. So it's a pretty neat social media platform for teachers and the students to interact with. So the students can interact with the teacher, and the students can also interact with other students. But yeah, again, this is just the assignment. You can see who's turned it in. And here I'm just going back to the assignment that is assigned, and again with the little clip that you see. This menu here shows different links that help them complete the assignment. So here's the template that I made for them to follow if they ever get stuck. You can always edit it. It's on Word. You can also open it on Google Docs. And here are the other links to the image splitter, as well as Google Docs if they can't find it for some reason, but they probably are able to. So then for the next math class, because say this one was on a Wednesday, they were handed in on Thursday night, in the next class on Friday, we'd go into Friday's class with many copies of all the ones that students have submitted, and it'll help the students review difficult questions, not that they just found tricky, but also that their peers found tricky, and in theory will help them solve multiplication and division better with reviewing all these math questions. And it might help them have more fun, as it's more personalized, for that the images that they choose are maybe fun images to them, or say maybe it's one of their favorite foods that they chose, and they now have their classmates to solve different picture puzzles that other classmates have made. And so hopefully that'll be a fun math activity for them to complete. So here we're looking at digital literacy framework and looking at creativity and innovation. They're looking at that when they create their puzzle. As for digital citizenship, we look at that when they use Google to find images and make sure that they are using the appropriate sites, know that they're aware. There's some examples on Google Classrooms. Personalized learning, they have many choices in what equations they use and what images they use, and so this is how it's personalized to the students and their interests. There are some other materials, and here is a Google Classroom resource that you can check out if you'd like. And here are other resources at TLS Books and education.com.